What's up, guys? I actually meant to film this video a few days ago. In fact, I did film this video a few days ago, but I kind of screwed up the footage, so I'm redoing it now. I meant to do it earlier, but I have family visiting from Chula Vista, which is like super far Southern California, like as far south as you can possibly get. But so yeah, I've been kind of busy. But yeah, this is just gonna be like my post-show update for the Muscle Mayhem, even though it's like, what, 5 days after the Mayhem right now. But I want to start off by giving a few shout-outs again to, obviously the first one to Bob Bell and Tina Smith, as well as all of the judges and the volunteers backstage who put on a great show. I mean, there were 110 competitors or something like that. And the fact that the show was able to run as smoothly and on time as it did is just, that's crazy. I mean, like, 110 competitors. I don't think I've ever heard of a contest with 110 competitors. But, I mean, they pulled it off, and it was a great show. And, I mean, one more thing, I wanted to give a special thanks to Bob and Tina. Not just for running the show, but also because if I hadn't met them when I did, however many, like, what, 2, 1? I don't know how long ago it was. It was before my first season, but if I hadn't met Bob and Tina, and if they hadn't been involved in my life the way that they have, there's no way I would be where I am today. That's not to say that my career, or whatever you want to call it, is necessarily impressive, but I do have to attribute a lot of my success to them, teaching me the basics of, just diet, training, well, mostly diet, and especially posing. I mean, I think posing is one of those things that's often overlooked, but Bob and Tina, they have a posing class, and I've gone to as many as I can, and I think posing definitely sets you apart on stage. So, not only that, but Bob and Tina, they're also the directors of the nanbf for California, so they're involved in pretty much all the contests and events throughout California and even in like Washington. So they do a lot for the sport, and they're just great people. So yeah, thanks Bob and Tina. Also, I wanted to give shout-outs to, first of all, to Kevin Riley for winning the Open overall, and he also got his pro card. And this is not to take away anything from the other competitors, but, because, I mean, all of the divisions, like, every single division was stacked, but I think Kevin set himself completely apart from everybody in the men's open. I mean, even the open competitors will tell you the same thing. Like, he was at a whole nother level than everybody else. Like, his conditioning was at least as good as everybody else on stage. He's about as symmetrical as you can possibly get, and just his muscle thickness was ridiculous. Like, this guy's legs look like if you took 2 legs and smashed them together into one. That's how thick his legs were. But yeah. Then next shout out to Brendan Barber, sorry. She won her figure pro card at this contest, and she's been competing for a while. I've seen her at a few shows, so congratulations to her. Also, I wanted to congratulate Moji Oluwa for winning again the pro division, and this year it was actually probably more impressive because if you see footage from the pro divisions, they had 2 pro divisions this year. They had a pro lightweight and a pro heavyweight. So then the winners of each division went up against each other. And man, I mean, those pro heavyweight guys were huge. But I think Moji won his lightweight division, and then he went on to win the overall. And I think that just comes down to I would say comes down to posing and symmetry, because both of the guys were incredibly shredded. Both the guys were insanely big, but Moji's just got, I mean, he's probably one of, if not the most symmetrical bodybuilders I've ever seen. So congratulations, Moji. And lastly, I want to thank, there were a few competitors, along with like my friends and family, of course, but it's different when competitors do this. Like, there are a few competitors leading up into the contest, the week of contest and stuff. I was getting kind of, I guess, like, the pre-contest nerves were sort of getting to me. I wasn't so sure about my placing because I knew me and Marcus Wade have been doing all kinds of research, like looking on Instagram and Facebook, YouTube, wherever, to find out who was competing in our division. Because, I mean, we wanted to know who we're going up against, and we were able to find most of the people. And I mean, we could see them in their pictures, and some of them that had videos. I mean, it was pretty insane to see the level of competition that we would be facing at the Mayhem, and I was getting real nervous. I didn't think I would have a great chance of winning this year, but there were a few guys like Kevin Calloway. You might remember him from the Central Valleys. He won the novice overall. He commented on a few of my videos saying that, you know, I really had nothing to worry about and just got to keep my confidence up. And as well as Caleb Innes, he kept saying, he kept telling me I had nothing to worry about basically. And after the contest was over, he kept saying that he told me that I was gonna win, and I guess he was right. But yeah, I just think that it's really cool of them for sort of having my back and keeping my confidence up that week of contest, because if you've ever competed, you know how hard it is coming up to a contest, especially your biggest contest of the year. But moving on to the actual contest, if you haven't already seen the footage from finals or prejudging or whatever, I did end up winning my class, the teen division, this is actually my second year in a row winning teen division, so I think that's even a little bit more special for me. And I've got to say that this year, just like I said, all the classes were stacked, but especially the teen division. Like, I'm not saying that like the bottom three or whatever weren't impressive, but it's just like if you look at the top three in the teen division, it was me, Brandon Paquin, he competed last year as well, and Chris Housley. I'll post a link to his channel somewhere, maybe in the description or whatever. But I mean, all the top three, it had to have been super close. And I mean, I'll find out for sure. I'm getting my scorecard back. I should have it back this week. So I'll probably post that either in a video or on Facebook or Instagram. But I mean, it must have been super close, because if you look at our physiques, I would have to say that Brandon Paquin is definitely bigger than both of us, both me and Chris. But then if you look at Chris he's very symmetrical, very well conditioned, and especially his legs. His legs have great separation. And then me, I think I was somewhere in between. My conditioning was, I would like to say my conditioning was pretty good, but I definitely wasn't as big as Brandon on stage. So I think it was somewhere, I sort of had like a balance of the two, size and condition. Like, I'm not that big, but I am pretty well conditioned. So I think that might be why I won, but we'll have to see when I get my scorecard. And although placing is not always the most important thing, I will say that I am very, very happy with my placing. I mean, obviously, it doesn't get better than first place, but just like I've always said, like, the entire past year has been leading up to this show. Like, all the work I've done for the past year, or even like the past 2 years, has been leading up to this. Like, this was my biggest show of the season. This is the show I was peaking for. And it's like all that time, effort, and sacrifice, it all comes to fruition in that one moment on stage when they were giving out the awards. I mean, like, that is probably the happiest I've been this year, the best I felt this year. It was really something. But regardless of the placing, I just want to say, like, overall, this show was, or that weekend, that Saturday, was probably like one of the greatest days of my year, or even the greatest days of my life. I mean, like, even without the first place, even without the win, I got to meet a lot of people, a lot of like YouTube famous people, which is really cool. And then just like, I think this time was a lot more fun for me than last year, just because I know so many competitors now. I mean, this is my, fourth contest. So, I mean, I've seen a lot of the faces around. I mean, I introduced myself to a few people, so a lot of the people knew me backstage, which is kind of cool, just talking to people in between your division and stuff. And even like within my division, like me and Marcus, we sort of arrived at the same time, and we were kind of like hanging with each other, because obviously we know each other. We've been training for a long time and stuff, so we're comfortable with each other. So when we went into the venue, they let the athletes in before they let the spectators. And then also, sort of short after that, me and Marcus, we introduced ourselves to Chris Housley, because we recognized him from like Instagram and his YouTube channel, whatever. And I think it was sort of cool, because Chris, from both sides, it could have easily been like cold, and like we could have just like been off on our own. And a lot of competitors are that way, and that's understandable. But I think it was just sort of cool that me, Marcus, and Chris, we sort of like stuck together backstage and stuff. And Chris is a really cool guy, so that was great. And then I mean, just like all the competitors backstage, everybody was really cool. And it was really something to see, like the pro guys, like especially the pro heavyweight division guys backstage. Like when you see them up on stage, they look ridiculous. Don't get me wrong, they look absolutely insane up on stage. But when you're standing next to a pro heavyweight in backstage, you're standing next to them. It's something else. Like I don't think I'm that small. Like I'm definitely not huge yet, but I'm like 5'10", like a 170-ish stage weight. And then I stand next to some guy from pro heavyweight division. He's like twice as wide, like all the way out here. He's like twice as thick. Made me feel small. But it's just kind of crazy to see like the pinnacle of the sport, that guys can get that big naturally. And I don't know, just kind of mind blowing. But overall, this is probably like, especially like everybody else even is saying that this was like the best show of the year, and I'm pretty sure that it will be. Like I don't think anybody can top this show. Like not even like a pro show could top this show. Like it was just really well put together, really well run. And then oh yeah, after the show, this is something strange, but after the show, a lot of the competitors were going out to eat at BJ's after. So me, Marcus, and my roommate Grant, we went to BJ's as well. And me and Marcus weren't planning on like eating anything crazy. Like that wasn't the plan. But when we got there, we were looking at the menu. We were both really hungry. I mean, I'm pretty sure we were both in a pretty big deficit for the day. So we sort of justified to ourselves eating, I don't know, whatever we wanted. So we both ended up getting I think it was called a double deluxe burger. It was 2 Angus beef patties, onion rings, bacon, tomato, pickle, lettuce, I think, and I don't know what kind of sauce it was, and then and fries on the side. It was, man, that was the best thing I've eaten since, I don't know, since a really long time. But that was really good. I was afraid sort of that eating something that good would sort of like induce more cravings later on, but to be honest, this is like 5 days later and I'm still feeling satisfied from that burger. Like I don't feel like I need to eat another burger like that for a really long time, so that's pretty good. And I think the next time I'll go out to eat like that is probably the day after my last show this season. And to wrap this video up, I think I do have the Capital City Bodybuilding and Figure Championships coming up in a little over 2 weeks. It's on August 3rd. And I'll be doing, I think, Teen Division there as well. And as far as a plan for prepping for that show, I've spent most of this week trying to taper my calories back up towards maintenance. And I've been actually kind of struggling with that because I'm not really sure what happened, but I think my metabolism got faster because I've been bumping up carbs like maybe 10 grams every day. So right now, I think today I'm at 410 carbs versus day of the show, which was the highest my carbs have been in a while. They were at, I think, 375 carbs per day, or on the day of the show at least. And then I bumped up carbs 10 grams every day, or basically 10 grams every day. And I'm at 410 for today. And my weigh-ins though have been basically the same. I've been basically right around 170 every day in the morning. So I haven't gained any weight back, but the idea for this week, or maybe like the next week and a half or whatever, I'm going to continue tapering up until I start gaining weight back a little bit. And then as soon as I start gaining weight back, that's when I'm going to start tapering calories back down a little bit. And I'll continue tapering down until I'm like 2 or 3 days out again, and then I'm going to taper back up for this show. But I'll probably make another video about that later, so won't worry about that for now. I think that's it for this video, so don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. If you like what I'm doing with my channel, or if you want more videos or whatever, drop me a comment or hit me in my inbox. But if you really want to help me out, go ahead and share this video or any of my other videos. But that's it, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.